Hey there and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the dumbbell bent over row, and we're going to be doing it with a pronated grip. Basically your palms are going to be facing you. Once you stand around inside shoulder width apart, make sure you bend your torso over at around a 45-degree angle or low enough to where your hands are placed underneath your knees when you fully extend. Once you have that set up, what you want to do is make sure that you're rowing to the outside of the hips at the level of the sternum or so. Then once you do that, you want to make sure your chin is also tucked. You don't want to be looking up when you're doing this exercise and placing unnecessary stress on your neck. Also make sure that you're doing it in a slow and controlled fashion and allow your elbows to come outward. You don't want them tucked into your sides too much. Now before we continue with more tips, here's a word from today's video sponsor.
I'm today's video sponsor, and if you'd like help losing fat or gaining muscle, there are a few ways I can help you down below. Either set up a free consultation with us, purchase through one of our free affiliate links, or purchase one of our instant access affordable training programs. Can't wait to be of service to you. Now let's get back to the rest of the video.
Now once you do those basic things, let's go into more detail about what you want to be thinking about. The first thing you want to be thinking about is making sure that you're allowing your scapula to protract and retract. So basically when you go up and down, but as you're going down, you want to allow your scapula to protract. So meaning you want your shoulders to kind of droop forward a bit. And what that does is it stretches out your back. And then when you're bringing it up, you're allowing the scapula to retract, which means to squeeze. You're not just bringing your arms up or driving your elbows to the ceiling. What you're really thinking about doing is squeezing your shoulders back as you do it. Now this is key in doing this exercise correctly, because if you don't, then you're going to find that your shoulders are going to droop forward and you're going to be squeezing your arms more than anything, which is obviously not the point of this exercise. You indirectly do work your biceps. However, you want to be really focusing on your back muscles. Another thing I want you guys to think about is making sure that you're doing it in a nice, slow and controlled fashion. So what I normally see with people doing this exercise when they go way too heavy is they end up standing up as they row up. So their angle of their torso begins to change depending on what part of the range of motion they're in. So you obviously want to lock that in. You want to lock in the angle of your torso. You don't want to be moving up and down excessively. Are you going to move up and down a bit? Sure, that's not a big problem. But you want to make sure that you're not like basically doing a shrug when you're at the top and doing a row when you're at the bottom. Another key thing is to make sure your chin stays tucked. We talked about this slightly, and also making sure that your back stays straight. You don't want to round your lower back in this position or upper back. Here's some common mistakes that I want you guys to avoid. Limited range of motion. We don't want to be doing half reps at the bottom of the range or half reps at the top of the range. You want to go all the way down, all the way up. You also want to make sure that you're not rounding your back like this. This is very, very bad, and I highly recommend you do the opposite of that. And like I said, you don't want to be standing up while you're doing your row. Just keep your torso at the exact angle that you're supposed to, and also make sure, like I said, you keep your chin tucked.